So this Rice group is looking to avenge those 2 regular season losses to South Florida. They're in their Houston Blues uniforms. See 713 representing their area code down in Houston, about 4 hours south of here. And the Bulls coming out of Tampa, Florida. 6th meeting between these 2 teams. Putu in white on your left, and Fisher for Rice. Ready to go as the American Championship game is underway. Dembele, who has been such a wonderful addition for Jose Fernandez's team, and the job that she's done, all conference honors, and nice pass inside, the top assister on the team, and Blazic on the board. Rice, we talked about Malia Fisher, you heard from Morgan, last year's MVP in this conference tournament. However, Victoria Flores, Anaya Alexis, some newcomers to this team, helping to add to the flair that we saw last year with Ennis and Angolafak.
See South Florida starting off, trying to go man-to-man, and Rice being patient with their first possession. South Florida said, no, we're going to charge right here into the paint. As you take a look at the lineup here, Blazic and Dembele kind of leading the way on the outside. And we've talked about the strength and the muscle from Carla Brito. The matchup of her inside with Susie Angolafak is going to be very key.
Blazic has that one blocked by Alexis. Anaya Alexis out of Waller, Texas, who's been spectacular in this tournament. Nearly poked away, and Angolafak gets it over to Flores, who came over from TCU with the new addition inside to Angolafak. And Susie Angolafak is on the board, and so is Rice.
I love the adjustment from last night to tonight for Rice to bring Angolafak up, have her play off the screen, more of a screen and roll, because South Florida, as Jose Fernandez said, they're going to throw bodies at Angolafak all night long, just like they did to Tamisha Lampkin. And so you're hoping the physicality can have an effect, but I love the way she was able to move off that read.
Bulls coming off that win over the 2 seed, Mean Green, as losing the handle on that one. Alexis, good defense thus far, and gets her own rebound. The putback won't go, and Putu is there. She is there in the right place, right time. We have seen that game in and game out, and Carla Brito says, give me that.
Oh, we already have palms up. Right. Okay. She's carrying over the confidence though from last night. I think you and I both could feel that coming out of her when we were talking to her today.
An important blue player for this Bulls team. Well, you asked the question, did Lindsay Edmonds' group have enough gas and legs to keep going and make another run? Thus far, 1 of 5 from the floor. And South Florida with an early lead here for more than 2 minutes gone by.
And the Bulls have to continue to run and keep the movement going. This is what Jose Fernandez has been waiting for, is his team to shoot well and start a game like this.
Well, Blazic knocking down that triple. She's got 5 points. Remember, she led the way for South Florida in that quarterfinal win over Tulane just a couple. When we talked with her earlier today, she felt like she had to do a little something extra, and already the scoring run, 8-0 to help propel the Bulls out to this 10-2 lead. Nice job, and that's where Lindsay Edmonds can see her team thrive on the offensive boards. They rebound exceptionally well, tops in the conference.
She's gaining the vision of stepping back from the rim a little bit there. So I feel like that's really helping her out, and she can anticipate reading the ball coming off the rim really well.
Working deeper into the shot clock. Brito again, no good, and Angolafak with the board. For Rice coming in to this championship week, they said we're hunting something. Hunting another championship, and Angolafak is just relentless on the boards. Both putbacks won't go. And then a jump ball. Its possession arrow is going to stay with Rice.
But Mama DeBelle can charge downhill, and you don't stop her till that late. Look at where the defense is late to recover. Malia Fisher, it gets lost a bit there, and Brito with the sauce coming back down. She's feeling it early.
As Haley Adams checks in.
Catch.
But that is what Susie Ngolofek does so well. She's got great hands, great feet, just knows how to use her body and size inside. Quick 6 points, all 6 points for the Owls thus far.
Well, what I love about the way she's playing tonight is you can tell she decided last night is not going to happen again tonight. She's moving different and attacking much better.
Flores, good defense on Puises, made that a tough shot. And Flores keeping her bounce and then taking out Joe
still in
Facilities
play.
officially,
Yeah.
but still keeping the ball in play. Wow.
It surprised the heck out of Flores. But Rice, it pays off.
Haley Adams, redshirt sophomore out of San Antonio, Texas. Had 8 points in last night's game. And somebody other than Ngolofek scoring for the Owls here.
You know, maybe that's what they needed, was just a little change of energy. And post game now, I think Rice needed to see that shot go in.
Putu and 1, the roar after for the senior.
Helps with that if you're the bird. But what we're understanding too is that somebody had to step in, and we had to have a Sammy step in this week.
Yes.
So shout out to the Rice band who's doing double duty, the band member doing double duty this week.
Putu completes the 3-point play, and it's a 5-point South Florida lead. So far, Susie Ngolofek has been the story for the Rice Owls. 2 players with 5 points in Blazek and Brito for the Bulls. And Putu once again comes up with it. 3rd rebound of the night. Remember, she went back-to-back nights setting career highs in rebounds. 13. Jose Fernandez wants to see her get going.
And she has to, because this is the time where you need to have a star in this game. And Sammy Puises, you know, all her career, what she's been through, especially in this building, you could just see her itching at the bit to try to have a great game and a breakout game. Tonight could be it.
Running the floor is Putu, and just a little too strong. And Flores needs to break back the other way. Dominique Innes for 3. Innes off the mark. The Bulls outrunning. Dembele says, I see it, stop and pop, no. And she comes up with the rebound as it was tipped by the Owls.
Rice needs to find a way to stop the transition, just the movement. You know, once South Florida gets out and runs, you want to maybe stop it around the A logo, kind of the right side of the A logo where it's tan there.
Rice coming up with it, and just too strong from Alexis as we send it over to Morgan. You were inside the huddle for Rice. What'd you hear?
Him to pick it up. She wanted more communication. She told us earlier today in practice that her team should be so mentally and physically exhausted by the end of this game. That's their style of play, pushing the pace, getting points in transition, but that just a little bit too quickly, guys, there, throwing that ball out of bounds.
That could also be just a small, you know, freshman nerves has not yet hit Anaya Alexis, right? And all of a sudden, maybe it came just a little, you know, just trying to make things happen, right? So the freshman has been outstanding in this tournament, and actually, she was the one that Jose Fernandez said she is a big concern of ours. Okay, Susie Ngolofek moving so well tonight, avoiding the physicality of the post players. That's the difference.
But you see the intentionality early on in getting Susie Ngolofek going, because she had 4 points each in her first 2 games, 8 last night, and already she's matched that here in the first quarter.
That's a brilliant adjustment by Lindsay Edmonds and her staff to see that, hey, we got to get her out and move.
And Brito whistled for the traveling violation. Jose Fernandez, who has the respect of every coach in this conference and around the country, in season 25 at the University of South Florida. Tremendous success, all-time winningest coach in program history. Has cranked out 12 20-plus win seasons. And he knows how special this could be for his group to win a championship. Did it back in 2021.
Defensively, that is huge, because when you draw that foul, now you're looking at 2 on a very key player in Alexis, who gives you that different look, that the X factor, and always a shot threat. So now where's Rice going to come up with that outside shot?
Fatu Diakite in the ball game now for the Bulls. Blazic trying to work on Adams, and Adams is whistled for the personal foul, her first, team's third. We know the type of epic battles that have been between these two. I mean, you think back to that last regular season meeting back on February 12th. It went to 3 overtimes, Brooke.
It was unbelievable.
And South Florida was able to win it at home. But to beat a team 3 times in a season, it's tough. As Brito with the make it, we send it over to Morgan with an update.
Not good news for Rice. Malia Fisher, their star, not on this bench right now. Moments ago, she just went back to the locker room. We'll have more, hopefully, from Coach Edmonds here at the end of the first quarter.
Thanks so much, Morgan. And great eyes and ears as Ennis says, okay, I need to step up in this moment. Remember, she was injured last year in this tournament, so she watched on as Rice made that run, but now she's going to need to step up and contribute more big buckets like that. With Fisher,
I hope it's just a quick treatment to get her back in the game. She is vital.
Dembele whistled for the personal foul as Emily Klazak in the ball game. It's USF's first foul. Klazak, who was memorable. I mean, she went on a run last year in this tournament, and the way that she was able to shine under these bright lights. Again, it's going to take a greater effort at the buzzer, and Flores can't get it to fall. Well, an opening quarter, and South Florida out to a 6-point lead here in Fort Worth, the American Championship game. She is part of the heartbeat of this team, one of the senior leaders for this group, and Fisher's presence, merely just being out here, may make a great difference here in the second quarter.
A woman who just is as solid as they come.
Yeah.
And you saw her just point to her mouth, so you wonder if maybe she took a shot to the face and just needed to get some rest, get some water in her. But hopefully her teammates are inspired to play, and being able to defend is Rice's mission here tonight, but they have to do it for all 30 seconds. And usually they talk about the first and last 10 seconds of the shot clock. But against South Florida, there's so much movement. There's so many different sets. You have to stay engaged all 30 seconds.
And let's send it down to Morgan with an update.
Well, you can see right now these athletic trainers working on Malia Fisher. She's putting on an eye mask. I watched her as she walked over, teammates asking, are you okay? She just pointed at her eyes. So it looks like she'll be wearing this the remainder of the game, guys.
All right, thanks so much. As Ennis knocks down another bucket, how does that impact you as a player or affect you? Because that's now something that's in the way.
I would think, right, between your face, the sweats, and the mask, it might be irritating to try to get used to it. And she's got to do it in the championship game. You basically are going to have the next 30 minutes to figure it out. But, everybody needs a Batman. She put her mask on. This is the heart and soul of the team. So I think Rice is going to feel mighty inspired just to see her back out there.
Blazic, nice crafty work there. Pulls up in the mid-range. And 2014 in favor of South Florida, seeking their 10th NCAA appearance and first championship in the American since 2021. The push off there, an offensive foul going against Emily Klazak.
Jose Fernandez told his team, be ready to take some charges. He knew that he had the possibility to beat them into position because he had said, hey, some of them put their shoulders down, head down. And those are great turnovers and takeaways, energy plays for South Florida.
Blazic, who has 7 along with Brito. So far, South Florida has had success from 3-point range. That's a good sign. Sammy Puis is calling for it. So was Blazic. Thought about the 3, gave it up, and just better offense continuing. And the miss from Brito was affected there on that putback.
For South Florida, those are the shots you have to convert against, because we've seen them go through so many scoring droughts consistently against Rice. You cannot have room for error. They're too good.
The double team on Shelby Hayes. Brito is there, wrestles it away, but the whistle beforehand, it's South Florida basketball.
Gotta make sure you don't bring the ball down, Shelby Hayes.
And good sign that Malia Fisher is checking back in. Well, checking out the American Men's Championship bracket, as we'll see some action starting tomorrow. South Florida, 9 seed on the men's side, will take on the 8 seed Wichita State.
North Texas on the men's side, a 2 seeds. We'll see if the home squad here can represent. The ladies did as good a job as they could do. Unfortunately, the free throws is what plagued them last night. The Mean Green, unfortunately, losing it at the line. Look at Malia Fisher. Look at Susie and Golofac. These are the leaders of the team. Quick to huddle, quick to get things together. Say, all right, let's go back out there and get it.
The tremendous floor leader that she is for this group, Malia Fisher. Let's see how she fares now with that face mask. Has a lot of contact underneath that South Florida basket, and a foul whistled against Victoria Flores, and Vicky Flores picks up her first personal foul. And Lindsay Edmonds just trying to bend the ear of the official.
Well, it felt to me, it looked like Flores picked up the charge. I thought she was there, and to be able to, I guess, have this discussion is great to get a better understanding, and I think that's her approach. And this is what I like, right? Okay, I just got called for a foul. It's on me. Clean it up and let's move on.
Brito knocks down both free throws. She's got 9 points today.
Rice got to hit a 3. They're 0 of 5. They need some distance from the outside.
And a lot of different options on the floor to be able to do that, but Malia Fisher finds Flores. She can do it. Ennis, Klazak. Instead, a little behind the back, no. And Golofac got a piece of that one, and Klazak, the deep 3, no. The putback in from Fisher, yes.
It's not like Malia Fisher ever needs a reason to get into an extra gear, but I think sometimes when you get hit in the face, it unleashes the beast. I think that's what we're seeing.
Well, 2-time all-conference performer. She was voted first team this season. And Fisher posted up, trying to get position, and does a job getting the box out, and the collision once more as Puis was going for that rebound. You see that exhale just blowing out right there from Fisher after that contact.
Yeah, just incredible toughness here. Battling against the boards, against the bigs, and having to go up against Brito, who's so strong. And here's this last collision. Puis just knocks right into her and knocks her face mask off. That's going to be a constant adjustment for her throughout the game. And what you hope if you're Rice is it doesn't affect the way that she's driving to the basket or shooting.
Fisher, who saw some time on the bench, missed 8 games with a hand injury to start the season. And she is as tough as they come. As you mentioned, Dembele whistled for a foul there. That's her first. Dembele, who Jose Fernandez knows that he can count on her. Outstanding defender, and great defense there on the inbound as it's poked away by Putu. Brito leaves it short. So what you heard from Lindsay Edmonds earlier today, and just in terms of executing the game plan, we saw her go to goal effect early on, and then now, what type of adjustments are being made by this USF defense to kind of make it more difficult for the Owls?
Yeah, I continue to see different bodies being thrown at a goal effect. And remind you, Lindsay Edmonds told Morgan Uber, we're probably reaching our limit, with the fuel in the tank. This is the 4th game in 4 days, so the start, terrific. But do you have the energies to sustain that? South Florida, again, a little bit fresher legs, and they did not play the last regular season game. So they come into this tournament way more rested than Rice.
Their last game was February 26th, and because the seeding wasn't going to be affected, the rescheduled game with Tulane on March 1st was not played.
Good defense. Dennis with the quick hands. And you also need, we mentioned before, they need a 3. You need to see some guards get into it if you're Rice. And goal effect, I think it would help get her some more touches too, because it's going to pull the defense out.
Make a correction there. It was March 6th. The game was canceled. March 1st was the end of the regular season for South Florida. And also note, Noanaya Alexis on the floor for Rice, the freshman, with 2 fouls. A nice reverse layup there from Mama Dembele.
How about 5'6", going right up into the trees against Angolafak, who is 6'3". Mama Dembele just has so much confidence and a smooth approach about her game. Such a hard worker, and she has been bumped on the floor so much as she's frustrated now, picking up her 2nd foul. That's huge for the Bulls. And, she doesn't usually make mistakes defensively, but that time got a little too active with her hands.
She has the distinction of being the Defensive Player of the Year in the conference, first Bull to win that. But with those 2 personal fouls, she's got to be careful as Ennis on the take overshoots that one.
I think Rice can work for a better shot as well. I think they're rushing their offense a bit. And you got to stop the drive. Characteristic turnover for Dembele. You see Lauren Putsu trying to give her that confidence. You have to shake it off in games like this. And she did say today, as we were walking into the arena, you've been taking so many bumps. How are you feeling? And she said, I got 40 more minutes, and then I probably won't remember my own name. Tell you how tired she is.
Fisher and Gulafek not on the same page, so we'll step aside here with out of this game back in the first quarter, about the 8-minute mark, and here was the elbow that she took to the face, and then coming back out and putting the mask on, and what does she do? Go right back to work.
The definition of breathing through it. I mean, could not feel more uncomfortable. I imagine trying to just get your mind and body reset after taking a shot like that to the face. Inadvertent elbow, of course, from Puisis, but that will knock a lot of players off their game for the rest of the day.
Average double figures since coming up. The sophomore out of Italy has come to play.
In transition, the Bulls are so dangerous, running downhill, and there's so many different scorers who can finish well, Tiffany. They have a lot of different types of offense throughout their game, and Blazic probably landed right on her kneecap. And for somebody who had to handle the point guard duties for South Florida last year as a freshman, it's great to see her confidence grow, and I think Jose Fernandez felt the same way, that she's really been playing well for them. Get off the ball and not have to be responsible as a point guard. It gives you so much more freedom. Take any shot you want.
She's got a game high, 10 points, and now an 11-point deficit for Rice. How do they get back into this one? Morgan, you were listening in to the Owls Huddle.
Well, normally at media timeouts, we see the coaches gather amongst themselves and the players on the bench for a brief moment, but Rice's Lindsay Edmonds, she wasted no time going over to her players, ripping into them, telling them, we need to be more aggressive, we need to be more physical. They are being way more, they're bullying us right now. And so that was exactly what she wanted to see from her team, guys.
Yeah, sounds about right. I mean, they respond. I love the way that you get teams in the championship, they take coaching and it's instant, right? And that's one of the things that makes these two teams so good They understand how to make in-game adjustments. They read. Brito found her level on the three, the second in this game. This has not been in her arsenal, Tiffany, the last month, but she's found her touch in the outside. And the calendar turned over.
So South Florida stretching out the lead. Haley Adams working on Brito. And Adams, good move in the paint.
She's a great substitution in being able to come off the bench.
Is her specialty, the graduate out of Mason, Ohio. And a lethal shooter she is. And a couple of threes have gone down for Puises already. That's
her spot, Tiffany. That right wing, that was the big shot that she hit for the one of the many overtimes in their last matchup. And I love that. Golovac is great at sealing if they can get that high-low pass and or keep her moving. That's been the difference in the game.
I mean, she's had her way inside when they've been able to get the ball to her. A dozen points. It's a team high for the Owls, and Dembele leaves that short, but she's fouled.
Well, Sammy Puises remembers this arena not well, and she wants to change that memory. You cannot go under the, it wasn't even a screen. Dembele just kind of ran through, and Flores stayed underneath, and that point was to Jose Fernandez across the way. Those two have such a special relationship. He wants it for her so badly.
Well, championship week, champ week continues on the men's side as we take a look at the ACC and your breakdown and assessment. I've got some thoughts.
Do you? All right. Well,
they're simple.
It'd be hard to go against Duke.
Well,
really
okay, well,
that's
exactly where I was going.
Hey, the women ran it. Time for the guys to match that energy.
Shout out to Kara Lawson
Absolutely.
and Duke Blue Devils for winning the ACC championship.
Now, one of our teams here on the floor actually defeated Duke.
That's right. Just before Christmas, South Florida was able to get that signature win of the season against the Blue Devils.
And so that's where they're drawing on their experience right now, is the schedule they played. South Carolina, TCU, Duke. It's messy. Well, and he wants it that way.
Yeah, he does. We're talking Jose Fernandez because he's just like, we're not backing down from anybody. We're just going after everybody. And this is only going to help prepare us for the third part of the season. Everybody likes to kind of siphon it off. Non-conference, conference. And then here, tournament time. Klazak had that one deflected by Putu, but Rice still able to net points out of that.
Haley Adams, good heads-up play, understanding where the ball was. How about the defense? Putu, she doesn't just do the work in the paint now.
Slowing it down as time winding down here in the second quarter. Blazic, who has been great in this first half thus far, in double figures once more. She's got 12. Flores up the court and tries to get the foul call. No. Blazic launches. Oh, off the backboard, made it close, would have made it interesting. But they're making sure they clean all areas. For Rice, the defending champions in the conference, looking to go back-to-back and trying to return to the NCAA tournament. What is it going to take for them to find some rhythm here on offense? 32 points thus far in this one. And Golovac, they try to get it to her. Tipped around like a pinball. Dembele right into the hands of Ennis. Good snag there. And Fisher remaining aggressive. And the first free throws of the night coming up right here for Rice.
Wow. And you think about what can they do from here on out, and I think that's one of the clutch points here, is making sure they get in the paint try to slow down the game a little bit. If they can make it physical, again, score on the inside. And the guards have to do, I think, just some more work moving without the basketball and stepping in, being confident, and being ready for their shot.
It's Fisher knocking down both. So the lead trimmed to 13.
Might be another backdoor play here. Look for that. Center call, Jose Fernandez.
Well, it's been Blazic who's been the story of the game, along with Carla Brito offensively, but everyone just getting into the action. That's what we talked about earlier in the broadcast, about the balanced attack from the Bulls.
Second night in a row, the Bulls have 2 players in double figures, and neither one of them are Sammy Puisis. But she's getting close. She's got 8. That's
Puisis
right.
got 8 right there, and she did it inside. A 2-fer instead of a 3.
She heard what I was saying. And that's just a hard pass to make. You see Flores and Ngolofak trying to connect on that, and too many heads turned. There was too many defenders, and Lindsay Edmonds is trying to plead for a hold call. She feels like Ngolofak is getting held.
Brito. DeBelle, who's got 7 assists tonight. And Puisis just trying to fight through with Fisher. 5 to go on the shot clock. DeBelle, nice bounce pass.
Yeah, Putu got that ball and just didn't have too much of a choice or time to make a move with it. And Ngolofak with a straight-up defense. Now can they capitalize? You got to get a stop and a score.
Yes,
Great
indeed. So Ngolofak with the pass, but credit Flores with the assist. And DeBelle keeping it cool right now. Remember, she played 53 minutes in that 3 overtime game earlier in their regular season meetings. DeBelle, graduate student. Right now, you're seeing something a little different as Rice getting pumped up on the defensive end. Dominic Ennis drawing that foul on Brito.
Yeah, Rice has to find just this type of magic right here, right? And that's what got them some points and some success in the first and second quarters. Now maybe Flores finding her flow. You know Rice is never going away if they're down.
The sophomore out of West Dallas, Texas in this system as Ennis looks on that 3. Blazic in there for the rebound. She leads it over to Putu, can't handle it. Flores tried to save it. It's going to stay with South Florida.
Victoria Blazic, 8 of 11 tonight. This is MVP type of performance. Sammy Puisis with the handoff, little step back. All you need is a little bit of room. And 5 delivers.
Well, the international flavor that you get on this South Florida team, 12 different international players representing 11 different countries, and Ngolofak right there in the face of DeBelle, and Ngolofak just asserting herself there. 4th Rice block.
Yeah, DeBelle trying to test Susie Ngolofak's timing, and that's a bad idea. She is terrific at watching the ball and understanding where the shooter is going to shoot it. Now can Rice, again, can they get a stop and a score? You got 90 seconds left in this quarter. You could cut it to single digits.
Putu, the turnaround again, and Ngolofak gets a hand on it. 7 seconds to work with for South Florida. One of the things that we've seen from the Bulls tonight that we didn't see in previous games is they haven't gone on many scoring droughts like we've seen in the last 2 contests. They've been able to maintain this lead. As Puisis gets it, heaves it up, tough shot, and Fisher comes down with the rebound.
Yeah, you're right about the Bulls. You know, they have not even had a 2-minute drought here in this game. As Fisher searching for contact again. Face mask, what? It's Batwoman time.
She's got her cape on, and she's ready to try to be a superhero tonight for this Rice Owls group, who's hungry to try to win back-to-back championships. And the American, Blazik doing work inside. No, but Putu comes down with it. And the travel there. Putu, the most improved player in the American Conference this season, a rebounding machine, as we've talked about.
This is the most important possession for Rice so far in this game. The quality of shot they get, as much as if it goes in or not, is what matters.
You want to try to get this, cut into this lead, make it single digits. They try to go to Ngolofek, but good fronting defense there from Putu.
If you're Ennis, and Ngolofek is trying to hold her spot, take another dribble down toward the baseline, get that bounce pass. The angle from wing to inside right there, you see how much Mputu's coming up the lane and on the side of Ngolofek. Her length, she's trying to knock that ball out.
Fisher, yes!
Great shot.
Floater in the lane, and a 10-4 run now from Rice. They cut the lead to single digits. And the Owls fans are behind them. Final seconds of the third quarter in this championship game in the American. And Dominique Ennis whistled for a foul with 1.5 seconds left here in the quarter. So Brito will inbound it.
Plenty of time for a catch, pump fake, and a shot, or a catch, one dribble shot.
Blazik was on the end line as that pass carried her out of bounds. So we see Rice trying to mount a bit of a comeback in this one in this third quarter. Good run for the defending champion Owls. They know they've got 10 minutes to go. Can they come? Last year they've combined for 26 points in that one, and this one rather. Can they muster up the tournament Owls for another 10 minutes to try to gain the championship? Anaya Alexis can be a bit of an X factor, a starter in this one, who is got her first 2 points just right there, had foul trouble throughout. They need her to score like she's been scoring the last few games.
Remember how we told you that the way that she's able to make in-game adjustments, take coaching, and immediately apply it? Tell me her confidence didn't just shift from leaving the game with no points and 3 fouls to coming in here and hitting the first shot of the fourth quarter. That is a sign of a baller to me. The way that you're able to rebound after a mistake, the shorter you can do it, that's where champions are made. And so you look at this fourth quarter here, now we have a close game, and you're like, okay, what are you going to rely on? And both teams have championship experience, and that's why this situation right here is so great. Ngolofek picking up the foul. She was really emphatic leading the huddle, as you see Flores so spirited in there. I love to see that. The young sophomore, there's so much great vocal leadership going on the floor right now.
And as a newcomer on the team, one of the things we heard from both Flores and the freshman Anaya Alexis is that they look to Susie and Malia to show them the way, because they've been here before, so they feed off of their energy as well.
The young players want to honor the older players and the leadership that has been established, and that's how you carry over from just, a good team to a great program.
Laura Putu, who has now 4 personal fouls. She's on the bench. Fatu Diakite is in the game for her now. So 2+ minutes and a 7-0 run for the Owls. 2-possession ball game here. Puises pulls up. And it's going to be Rice basketball. And you feel a shift or sense that right now in this ball game because they let Rice hang around. In South Florida, led by as many as 15 in this game. And now the Owls trying to spread their wings here. And Malia Fisher is fouled.
Rice is playing like the team that hasn't played 4 games in 4 days. That third quarter, right now they're playing with more energy than South Florida. And you heard Jose Fernandez tell Morgan, we have got to get transition buckets going. We got to run against this team. The more they have to play half court, the more this is becoming Rice's game.
And it's inside and goal effect. Yep, she gets it, falls to the floor, and she is in pain as she went down hard. She sits upright, and her teammates immediately come over to her aid. Goal effect. Senior out of Lilburn, Georgia.
The angle of the pass required her to turn, and her legs got tangled up, and she goes down awkwardly. It's incredible that she was able to bounce back up. Ankle twisting and just that immediate sharpness to it. So I'm so impressed that she got right back up. And let's certainly hope that, for Rice, she can get back in. You don't want to sit out too long and allow that ankle to tighten up.
Adams comes in for her. Flores off the mark, but that's really important to note that foul because now that's 14 fouls on South Florida. The next foul by the Bulls will send Rice to the free throw line the rest of the way. They'll be in the bonus. Huisis, watch the deep three. And it's Rice basketball. So Brito was the last to touch it. She trots down the court. And Golovac trying to walk that off. They need her. What an important presence she's been here tonight.
7-0 run, as you can see. And although I trust Sammy Puisis with my life with her shooting the basketball, I did not like that shot. It was like a fadeaway 3 from the spot where she's very successful. The Bulls got to get out. They pick up a foul. I was about to say, they got to get out and run. You see Diakite is sprinting down the floor, ready to receive the pass.
So that's Brito is calling for some more help to try to inbound this basketball. Blazic comes alongside now. Kulani Spurlock is going over to the scorer's table to check the clock that was running on that inbound, so they will look to make that adjustment. That's the calls for the momentary stoppage here.
Sorry, I was going to say, I looked over at Jose Fernandez, and he just took a huge sigh. You see the clock start off at 7:34, should have been stopped there.
Wow. So they reset it. So now they've got 7:33 on the clock. It's been adjusted. And we get back to play. Brito trying to make a move. Good defense by Fisher. Dembele over to Diakite. Looked like she tripped over Flores' foot, and it's going to be Rice basketball. And for more on the update of Susie Golovac, let's send it over to Morgan.
Well, Susie Ngulafek was pacing behind the bench for several minutes, and then I saw her look over to their trainers. They checked in on her. She said, I'm fine. And she has been such an important presence. They certainly need her back in the post.
You are absolutely right. Thanks so much, Morgan. Ngulafek, who really set the tone to start this game. She's got 15 points, 7 rebounds. Shot the ball well from the floor. Back inside Dickey's Arena, the American Championship finale. The defending champion Rice Owls coming in as the 9 seed. They won it all last year as a 10 seed. And they are trying to reclaim that glory once again. South Florida, who has led the entire way, has gone nearly 5.5 minutes without a bucket. And it's been a close ball game now, just 6 points separating the two. An opportunity tonight for one team to advance to the NCAA tournament.
You'd have to think that Jose Fernandez is pleading with his team for the same aggressiveness that Lindsay Edmonds is getting out of her Rice squad. That's what's going to come down to here in these last 6 minutes. Who can play more aggressively and be the smarter team, taking quality shots? Oh, Diakite thought that one was clean.
Diakite picks up personal foul, so they'll send Malia Fisher to the line. Diakite, who is currently the religious observance in her Muslim faith of Ramadan right now, meaning she can't eat or drink from sunrise to sunset. For more on that, let's send it over to Morgan.
She really credited the South Florida training staff getting up at 5 a.m. every morning with her to make sure she's fueled up and hydrated before sunrise. This morning she had eggs, turkey bacon, pancakes, and hash browns, and you'll see her on the bench. She sits with a cold towel around her neck, and she said when she needs to pick me up, she gets all the energy that she needs from her teammates.
Well, that is the fuel that has inspired her to play some of her best basketball. Jose Fernandez had
put a bow on that. She's in the ball game because Laura Putu has 4 personal fouls, and we witnessed the interaction between the post players and how her teammates are helping to lift her up and have her back during this time.
Oh, Putu was standing right next to Diakite, who was sharing her story, and she said, listen, we play the same position, but we want the best for each other and out of each other. So we'll continue to push and support in the meantime, and you just feel how connected and how much love this team has as well. We've seen it from Rice, we felt it from Rice, and getting to know all the teams more. There's some great human interest stories and unbelievable moments from these young women.
What a move by Mama Dembele. And Dembele, who is coming alive here for South Florida. Outstanding defender, best in the conference. And Malia Fisher back the other way, trying to work on Brito. And Brito told us earlier she was trying to defend without fouling Malia Fisher, who is really good at drawing or absorbing some contact, and good sportsmanship there at the end between the two.
Love to see that. And Malia Fisher, you're right. I mean, it's so difficult to score on her and defend her. Mama Dembele getting it done there, and then Malia Fisher is physical, is long, is crafty, and smart around the basket. You saw that sign of sportsmanship. She made a point to go up to Jordan Jenkins from UTSA after their matchup, and just to tell her how much of a respect she had for her as a player. An unfortunate mishandle there from Diakite. Just, that's bigger than basketball at that point, and Malia Fisher is destined for great things.
Well, Fisher won the Ambassador Award for her terrific work off the court. Community service as that one rims up. Just a class act is Malia Fisher and all that she's done. And look, Rice made it to the NCAA tournament last year, Brooke. They were champions in the conference in their inaugural season. South Florida did it back in 2021. That's what's at stake and on the line here tonight. 4 minutes to go in the championship game from Fort Worth. Too strong from Brito. Putu back in the ball game, gets the O board.
Great defense by Flores. Wow, locking up Dembele. She's used to getting it, not receiving it.
And she steps on the end line. No basket, and it's going to be Rice basketball. Another look at that great D. Clamping.
Oh, gotta love this. Victoria Flores, who entered the starting lineup during conference play. Coach Edmonds needed a little more juice, some excitement in there. And, I mean, she is a competitor, isn't she? I mean, just so incredibly feisty, 5'7", and giving you 100 assists plus coming into this tournament.
Golofac, yes, powers up and in.
And did you see where the post-entry pass came from? From the corner. So they found a better angle. That was a really good adjustment by Rice.
Dembele slowing things down. More than 3 minutes to go. Blazic, who has just been so crafty here tonight. The fadeaway, no, but Putu got a hand on that one. And 12 offensive rebounds tonight for South Florida. They're winning the rebounding battle. +6 right now. Dembele with time winding down. No, and Putu gets her hands on that one again, but it's going to be a jump ball. And it's going to stay with the Bulls.
Putu MVP and coming in late with the big boards.
Remember, she had 21 rebounds yesterday. Saw a significant increase just in her play. Not only the rebounding machine that she's been, but also from an offensive perspective, they've benefited. And Brito has been the other compliment in the front court. The hoop and the horn for Carla Brito.
I think I'm impressed as much by the finish at the end with the dive on the floor. Watch this shot. Ball fake, dribble, make the play simple. Takes the contact. Clear landing on the runway. Very impressed.
Brito with 16 points tonight. Second team all-conference for the junior out of Spain. Lead back out to 10 for South Florida.
Got to be thinking threes now as Putu gets called for a foul.
He's in the books, 2 more tonight, and leading all the way up to the championship game. We've got a good one here from Fort Worth. Brooke Weisbrod, Morgan Huber, Tiffany Green here with you. Closing in on the
zooming, skirting, all the things, getting right up to the rim. Nobody could stop her.
And Innes drains the 3. That's the first 3 ball of the game for Rice.
Rice got to get up. They got to try to get some steals. And is this right? They have not had 1 foul in this quarter yet. So that's what I'm thinking. Either you got to stop the clock or get a start, or 4, excuse me. So you don't want to foul, but you definitely want to be able to put some more pressure on the Bulls.
They've got to get up in them deep in the shot clock. Dembele, and a whistle late.
Dembele off the handoff. And she just has so much joy playing this game, doesn't she? She's been waiting to break out of this ball game as well. You know, you could sense her frustration at the beginning. Got early fouls, couple turnovers. Very uncharacteristic of who and how she plays.
The graduate student came over from Missouri, born in Mali in West Africa. Family moved to a small town in Spain, and one of 12 international players for South Florida. Nearing the final minute of this one, and they're going to need some more triples to fall or stop the clock and get to the free throw line. Quick buckets here. That one rolls off for Golofac. Adams is there on cleanup duty backside.
Yeah, so Rice, you know, you wonder where's the press? Maybe try to trap right there. You see Lindsay Edmonds saying, hey, you got to get up.
And this is
Still calling for it, still calling for the foul. There it is.
And Dembele, as you've mentioned, who has taken a beating here in this championship week, is going to go back to the free throw line as Rice is both teams now in the bonus. So 3 timeouts remaining. You've got 43 seconds. You're watching on Dembele at the line. That one pops off. If you're Rice, what do you do in these final 43?
Well, I think you have to take a 3 if it's available. And it is pretty much desperation time for that. The only thing that can negate that is getting the quickest 2, and Edmond's going to take that timeout to be able to advance the basketball and get a sideline out of bounds.
She'll talk where seeds back here. It's Rice with 2 timeouts. They advance the basketball. 43 seconds remaining, trailing by 7 on the inbound. They get it to Fisher, so quick score right there. Do you assume that we'll see more quick pressure because they didn't pick up full court the way we thought maybe a little bit earlier? About a minute and a half to go.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if they didn't give that and try to double team and get the steal and a pass and then get into your offense right away. Don't stand around, try to create some movement and get away from that action, because sometimes in these moments the double teams can happen, and if you can just look across court a little bit, you can get an easy layup.
Well, the leading scorers tonight on both sides, the seniors, Golovac and Maria Fisher, doing their best for Rice. Meanwhile, it's been Brito and Blazek who've been so important here. And no quick foul, no trap, no nothing here from Rice. And then finally it comes, but a lot of time trailed off the clock there.
Yeah, a little too much to be comfortable if you're Rice and a Rice fan. And Sammy Puisis is probably not who you want to have on the line. Just somebody who's so clutch, calm, and has probably waited for this moment. Be able to avenge her performances here in the past. Did not play well in this building, and coming in, just get the sense that she was so ready to change the course.
They were the #1 seed just a few years ago. That upset in the quarterfinals, and they were like, she was like, I don't want another run of that, as Lindsay Edmonds spins another timeout. She's got 1 remaining. Again, ability to advance the basketball here. And now a 7-point differential. You've only hit 1 3-pointer tonight, and we've seen them hit at least 6 in the last 3 games, and only 1 tonight. But they need a big one here. Who are they going to go to?
I think you got to go small and put your lineup of your best shooters in there. So you're talking about, Flores being in there, Anaya Alexis, Haley Adams, Klazek, who's also gotten hot in tournaments in past. So, you want to try to rely on some of your most confident shooters out there. Dominique Ennis, number 11, also a reliable scorer. So the lineup, the Trinity Gooden in there as well, a captain. You have some shooters, but you got to get a shot. Oh, a turnover.
And that is going to make it all the more difficult and perhaps seal it. I mean, you think Trinity Gooden coming into the ball game, one of the 5 seniors for this group, and that's one that she'd like to have back.
Yeah, that's a painful one. If you're good in, critical moment to try to get a good shot, and Dembele at the line, and who else but Fatou Diakite with the key steal, maybe the clutch one of the season.
And you talk about Fatou Diakite and Mama Dembele helping to try to seal off Rice here, as in this 4th quarter, South Florida sees that one go in from Fisher. Jose Fernandez is going to spend a timeout, but Dembele with 9 points in this 4th quarter alone. And she knows that they're 19.8 seconds away from punching their ticket to the NCAA tournament. That's why she made the move to come to play for Jose Fernandez at South Florida, for an opportunity to advance on, and she's thrived in his system. Dembele, 3 of 4 in this quarter for 9 points.
She has great anticipation, quick hands, quicker feet, and then being able to finish at the rim. One of her specialties as well. When she can get downhill, she can also change directions. You see how much of a bother she is. The defense, everybody has got to pay attention to her. And that play right there to me was the difference that kind of separated the Bulls and sent them into the NCAA tournament, it's looking like.
13 points tonight, 8 assists for Dembele, along with a couple of rebounds in the process. And now she can keep that smile on a little bit longer as the Bulls look poised to make that run. But you think about the season that has been for Rice and what they have been able to do and accomplish, how hard it was going to be to come in and try to win 4 games in a row again like they did last year. Lindsay Edmonds, you talked about the emotion that we saw from her earlier. She's just so proud of this team, the way they've had one more in terms of their mentality all season long to make it back to this championship game. And you have to start with the 5 seniors in this group.
And they brought their best to this tournament. They truly did. The unbelievable getting to this game itself is such a great story, but I know Rice is not going to feel good without getting that job done. So, you know, congratulations to the effort and what you've done in the Americans so far. You run the table in the first year that you're here, you grab a championship, and then you come back as the preseason one of the top 2 teams, and then you make it here. It's consistency for me. That's the hardest thing with success, is continuing to show up and win games. And it was just so touching to talk to Coach Edmonds today and to feel that emotion in her voice and how much she cares and loves this team, how much they've been through this season to get back here. Leah Fisher, number 1, asking in your screen. Lindsay Edmonds, perhaps feeling it. Fisher, the game. What a game, what a year for her, and the ability to just lift up her teammates and inspire them by coming back in this game.
They were trying to bottle up that experience and feeling from last year for another run. And Innes for 3. So not done yet, as Rice saying, wait a minute.
Yeah. Nobody feels comfortable just yet, I can tell you that, for USF.
And in that huddle, still coaching out and still getting them ready, saying great, you know, she said the gratefulness that they have for this group and the way they can come together. Can they pull off something unbelievable here in the final 10.9 seconds?
I mean, I wouldn't put it past him, I'll tell you that. Jose Fernandez said it best when he just said, you know, you can't get comfortable against this team. They don't give up. They don't beat themselves. You have to play your best game to beat this Rice team. And when you look at their conference record, you kind of scratch your head saying that doesn't seem right. But knocking off the number 1 seed, TSA coming in here, game in 4 days. Rice has had a heck of a season.
And Fisher helping piece this up after she was fouled. For South Florida, it's tough to beat a team 3 times in a season. I mean, both coaches mentioned just the type of battles that they had with one another. But Jose Fernandez had a feeling about this group. He says, you know, we've been doing a lot of things well. We've defended well, we've rebounded the ball well, but we haven't shot the ball well. And tonight, they're right around that number he was looking for.
He literally said 40 to 45%, and they're at 44.